Hey folks, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. It's November 6th and it's really pretty nice out today in central Oklahoma. It's about noon and it's already just over 60 degrees, so the bees are going to be flying a lot today. And I have a 125-pound bag of sugar left, and I thought I would do a quick video to show how I mix up my 2-to-1 heavy syrup for preparing for winter. So let's just get right into this. Okay, so I like to use, so you can do this in one 5-gallon bucket. And I have a bucket with a little spigot on it. I bought these initially intending to use them for bottle filling honey, and it's too small of a hole. You need to get the ones that have the bigger hole than that. So, but they do work pretty good for like thinner liquid, like your wintertime feed. So just a 5-gallon bucket. And I pick up these big bags of sugar at the local Walmart because it's a great value. Lost my microphone. Okay, where were we? So you can put the entire bag in your 5-gallon bucket. So for your mixture to be 2 parts sugar to 1 part water by weight, you need exactly 1.5 gallons of water. And you can do the math. It's like 8.34 pounds per gallon, I think, is how much water weighs. And it comes out like 1.499. It's right on 1.5. So just eyeball a 1/2 gallon with your jug here, and use hot water because it helps the sugar dissolve a lot faster that way. So let's get our water in here, and then I'll show you how I mix it up and the feeding stimulant that I use. Try not to slosh this on your floor because it will make your floor awful sticky if you do. And our 1/2 gallon. So the water level will go down a little bit when we start mixing it. So it is getting kind of close to the top there. So you can see you can do this in one 5-gallon bucket. So you don't have to have a feeding stimulant, but I do like to use this when I open feed in the fall because I like to get some essential oils into the hives. So it's not just pure sugar and water. Pure sugar and water can ferment, and when you have this in there, and this is Pro Health from Man Lake that I use, and I'll put a link below to this. You can check it out. And I think you can get it from Amazon now, so you don't have to go straight through Man Lake and have to get to the $100 level to get the free shipping. So this isn't, they do sell it on Amazon now. But this is what I like to use. It has lemongrass oil in it. It smells really good. And it tells you how to mix it on the back. This is a 1 pint, but I also have over there, you can see on the counter there's a 1-gallon container of it. But I keep this around so I can measure the different levels per what you want to do. So there's feed stimulant, health aid. So if you've got some bees that are not doing so well, you can boost it up to 2 teaspoons per gallon. I'm sorry, 3 tablespoons per gallon. This is a quart and this is a gallon here. And you can also make a drench spray. So if you're combining a couple of hives, or you want to put a frame of bees into a different hive and you want to drench them so to cover up their scent and to kind of confuse them so they don't fight, that's what drench spray is for. And it's even heavier, 6 tablespoons per gallon. But I do that occasionally. But I've really had good luck with this. There's other brands of similar this is Man Lake's version. Someone told me at one of my beekeeping club meetings here local that they preferred this because it has thymol, and thymol is a natural mite repellent. So it's good to have thymol in your hive. So there is a little bit of that. So it says it's spearmint oil, lemongrass oil, thymol, lecithin, and emulsifier. And emulsifier means it just it helps it mix with water. So let's get this in there, and I already got it pre-measured. So I have it for the feeding stimulant level. So I pre-measured this out. I think it's like 7 tablespoons is what I need. But the prior time I did this, about 4 weeks ago, I did it at the health level, just to get that into the hives. So let's get this in here. And just a little side note about open feeding. I normally don't do it, but 2021 was a challenging year here in central Oklahoma. We had a record-setting winter early on in February, below zero, like 16 below zero for 2-3 days, and the bees consumed a lot of their resources. So they had a big comeback, you know, to make up for. So I've fed more this year than I've fed probably ever. Like I said, I don't normally open feed. They usually have enough honey where I don't have to do that. So I like to mix it up. I've got a drill here and a cement mixer, or a what do you call it? You like for bricklaying if you want to mix some mortar, or it's a paint stirrer. I don't know what you call it, but one of those gadgets. And I run it in the forward pushing down mode first, and then I switch it back and forth just to get it mixed up. So when you put it in reverse, it really pulls that dry sugar off the bottom and pulls it up into the liquid. So you can see our water level's gone down quite a bit once I hit it in reverse. And once it feels like you've got most of it off the bottom, then hit it back and forward and push it down and just run it for a while. It's pretty thick. All right, so let's talk about what you feed this in. So I've seen where people have taken these 5-gallon buckets, put the lid on it, and they've drilled holes in this little edge here from the inside, but you don't drill through this outside little lip. And the syrup, and you turn it upside down, and then the syrup will come out and fill these little ridges, and they feed in that. I've done that before, and I have an old bucket like that, but what I found was the bees pile on it, and the ones that go in first, they get, you know, dog piled on top of, and they get shoved down in there. So you will kill quite a few bees that way. Them just wrestling around trying to get in there and shoving themselves in there and drowning. So I don't use that anymore. I went to this 2-gallon bucket with the lid, and I drilled a bunch of little holes in it there, you can see. And I set this on top of a couple of little sticks, or, you know, little pieces of wood upside down, and it'll drip for a little bit till it builds a vacuum, you know, just like any other feeder. And but I find that works good, and I'll set this on a table and away from your hives. You don't want this close to your hives, but that works pretty good. And they can drain this 2-gallon bucket in, you know, basically a day. So this is pretty much 4 gallons of liquid here, and I have 2 of these, and I fill them both up, and it works perfect. So let's get these out there and get them set up. Okay, real quick, just an important note. So after I mix this up, I don't immediately fill these. I'll let it sit for a couple hours, and I'll come back and I'll hit it with my mixer again. And by that time, the clarity of it, it'll clear up some, and you can tell, like right now, it's got kind of a white milky tint to it because there's a lot of sugar crystals still in it. And if you put it immediately into your buckets, you're going to have a few crystals in it, and it tends to crystallize in your bucket. And when it starts to cool, when you take it outside, and it does tend to clog your little holes a little bit. So I do wait about probably 2 hours, and I come back and I hit it again, and then I fill them up. So we're going to wait 2 hours and come back and finish this up. Okay, it's been a couple hours. So let's look at this and see what it looks like. Got a little layer of foam there on the top. But yeah, see how it's a little bit more clear now. Looks like we still kicked up some more crystals off the bottom. Okay, we're going to go with that. And get our lids on. All right, let's head outside and get them set up. They're already flying around here. They can smell that lemongrass oil. So a little bit's going to drip out, and that's why I have this ice chest down here until it builds up its vacuum. And there's some little pebbles in there so the bees don't drown. There, you can see it kind of running down there. But you should see the drips in there will slow down and stop. Okay, so that's how to get 25 pounds of sugar or 4 gallons of heavy syrup into your hives. So I have let's see, 28 or 29 hives right now, and 28. And this isn't really a lot of volume for that many hives, but the strongest hives will probably get most of this. And I've been selectively feeding the weak hives with internal feeders. But this will, give them all a little extra syrup out there, getting them into winter. So next step will be putting solid sugar on top of the weaker hives, the ones that don't have the heavy weight to them. So we'll come back probably hour or two once these bees get back to the hive and tell everyone else what they found. This will just be swarming with activity here in a little bit. So we'll wait for that and give you a shot of that as soon as they're here. Okay, it's been probably not quite an hour, and we got a pretty quick response. Yeah, they're cleaning her up. And down in here, where that spilled a little bit, they're getting all that out of there as well. Looks like a few bees up here have a little bit on them. They're getting cleaned off. You can see the sugar crystals on their wings. Yeah, so this is how I open feed bees, and this is probably the first year I've open fed in probably 4 years. It's not something I do very often, but that's how you take care of a 25-pound bag there and get it into two-gallon buckets. So that's the end of the video. Hope it was informational for you. If you had any questions, put them down below. And check out the link to that Pro Health, and be sure and subscribe and give me a thumbs up before you leave, and we'll catch you on the next beekeeping video. Y'all take care.